Hello, my dear student friends. Welcome back to our channel. Please subscribe our channel and share with other students also. Okay. Today's class, we are going to discuss about the frequency response analysis. Okay. First, what is meant by frequency response? So, what is meant by frequency response? So, if we have a system, okay, this system. If we give step input, okay, step input to the system, the output of the system called step response. Step response, right? Response means output with respect to time. Say if we give same say ramp input to the system, if we measure the output in the scope, we will get a ramp response. Ramp response. Okay. So ramp input, ramp response. Ramp input and ramp response. Say if we give parabolic input, parabolic response. Similarly, if give sinusoidal input the system. So what is the input? Input is sinusoidal. So sinusoidal input. So system, the sinusoidal input, if you give sinusoidal input, the steady state output of the system for the input, sinusoidal input is called frequency response, right? What is frequency response? The steady state output of the system. The steady state output of the system when the system is excited with sinusoidal input. That is called frequency response. Frequency response. Understand? So, in the frequency response, there are many plots. Various response analysis techniques are available for frequency response. Various techniques, various analysis. Say very basic is Bode plot. Okay, Bode plot. Then polar plot. Polar plot. Polar plot. Then Nyquist plot. Okay, Nyquist plot. Nyquist plot. Then Nichols chart, M and N circles, M and N circles. Then Nichols chart. Nichols chart. These are all the various plots used to analyze the frequency response. So these are all the various techniques. Okay. In the frequency domain, the system can be analyzed and designed using these methods. Okay. These methods used to design a control system, design and analysis. Okay. This is very important domain, frequency domain. Okay. So, what are the various frequency domain specifications? We already seen the time domain specifications, many time domain specifications. What are the time domain specifications? Rise time, delay time, dead time, okay? Then maximum overshoot, peak time, settling time for 2% tolerance, then settling time for 5% tolerance, then time constant, etc. Similarly, there are some frequency domain specifications. Okay, frequency domain specifications. Domain specifications. What are the frequency domain specifications? The very basic is gain margin. Okay, gain margin. What is gain margin? Gain margin is nothing but it's a gain. Okay, the gain value of the magnitude, okay, magnitude of the inverse magnitude of G of j omega, okay, inverse magnitude of G of j omega, okay. It is actually represented by, in simply gain margin means 1 by modulus of G of j omega, then H of j omega. Actually, we replace simply S by j omega to get the frequency transfer function. Say, let us see G of S equal to, say, K by 1 plus S tau. So this is the transfer function. Okay, this is called transfer function model of the system. Transfer function model of the system. Okay, so what is if we replace S by j omega, if you replace S by j omega, then it becomes a complex function. Okay, 1 plus j omega tau. So this transfer function called frequency transfer function. Frequency transfer function. So the frequency transfer function is, how to get frequency transfer function? In simple transfer function, the open loop or closed loop transfer function, if you substitute j omega instead of s, so it becomes frequency transfer function. So what is gain margin? Inverse magnitude of G of j omega, H of j omega, where omega equal to omega pc. This is when, what is the value? When omega equal to omega pc. So what is omega pc? Phase crossover frequency. I will explain later one by one, right? So it is the gain margin is the gain which can be varied before the system becomes unstable. Before the system becomes unstable, right? So if the open loop gain increases, the gain margin decreases. Okay. So if open loop gain, okay, increases, then gain margin decreases. So it is easily observed from the formula. So gain margin is inverse, okay, inverse proportional. Also, and if the gain is doubled, this is very important, if the gain is doubled, okay, then gain margin becomes half. Gain margin becomes half of that. Okay, so gain margin is G of j omega. So same gain margin in dB, say GM in dB. Okay, gain margin in dB is nothing but 20 log 1 by G of j omega, H of j omega. Okay, at phase crossover frequency. So this can be also in, if we express gain margin in dB, this can be also called as negative logarithm of, okay, negative dB. Okay, say in 1 by this becomes gain margin in dB can be written as minus 20 log of magnitude of G of j omega. G of j omega. Understood? So 20 negative logarithm of G of j magnitude of G of j omega. Right? So what is phase crossover frequency? It is the frequency at which the phase angle of this G of j omega. Okay, what is omega pc? It is nothing but phase crossover frequency. Phase crossover frequency. That means what? It is the frequency. It is the frequency at which the phase angle of G of S, G of j omega, H of j omega equal to minus 180 degree. So when the phase angle of G of j omega, H of j omega is minus 180 degree. When it is minus 180 degree, the corresponding frequency called phase crossover frequency. Understood? So this is called phase crossover frequency. Okay? Or imaginary part of G of j omega equal to 0 when omega equal to omega pc. So it's also this is one condition. Another condition, if you separate real and imaginary part in the complex domain, so the imaginary part, okay, the imaginary part of G of j omega, H of j omega equal to 0 when omega equal to omega pc. So when omega equal to omega pc, the imaginary part becomes 0, right? If omega pc does not exist, if omega pc does not exist, then gain margin becomes infinity. Gain margin become infinity. Understand? So what is now? Next is next frequency domain specification is phase margin. Okay, phase margin. So what is phase margin? Phase margin is nothing but, okay, this phase margin equal to 180 degree plus phase angle of G of j omega, H of j omega at omega equal to omega gc, at omega equal to omega gc. So this is fixed one, phase margin equal to 180 plus phase angle of G of j omega, H of j omega when omega equal to omega gc. Then what is omega gc? Then omega gc is nothing but gain crossover frequency. Gain crossover frequency, right? Gain crossover frequency. Understand? So gain crossover frequency. So what is gain crossover frequency? The frequency at which, this is nothing but the frequency at which the gain of, okay, the magnitude of the gain or magnitude of G of j omega, H of j omega equal to 1 unity. Okay, equal to 1 unity. Okay, in decibel this is equal to 0. In decibel 0 dB. So the magnitude of G of j omega equal to 0 dB. So this is called phase margin. Understand? So next you can also say that when it is when G of j omega, H of j omega equal to magnitude equal to 1 when omega equal to omega gc. Then omega gc. If the condition is if omega gc does not exist, phase margin becomes infinity. Okay, next is if gm, this can be used for relative stability analysis. If gm is positive and phase margin is also positive, okay, gain margin positive, also phase margin positive, both gain margin and phase margin values are positive. Okay, there for example gain margin equal to, okay, 10 dB, phase margin equal to say some 20 degree, okay, then the system is stable. Then the system is stable. This is according to gain margin and phase margin, okay. So in this case, the omega GC should be less than, in this case, according to the gain crossover and phase crossover frequency, omega GC should be less than omega PC. So this is also condition for relative stability. If both gain margin and phase margin are positive, then that system is stable. Similarly, if the gain crossover frequency is less than phase crossover frequency, in this case also the system is stable. Understand? So then next case, if gain margin is negative, okay, then phase margin is negative, and phase margin also negative. So when both are negative, the system is unstable. Also, when this case omega GC greater than omega PC. So if any of these two conditions exist, then the system is unstable. Okay. So another condition is if gain margin equal to 0 dB, no negative, no positive. So gain margin is 0 dB. Similarly, phase margin is 0 degree. So when gain margin, if gain margin is 0 dB, phase margin is 0 degree, okay, the system also, according to the gain crossover frequency and phase crossover frequency, omega GC equal to omega PC. This leads to just stable, marginally stable. Marginally stable. Understand? So understand or not? So this is the relative stability analysis using, okay, using the gain margin and phase margin. Okay. The gain margin, phase margin are used for relative stability measures. Okay. For the open loop stable system only. This is measures only for open loop system stable. So the gain margin and gain and phase margins are used for relative stability measures for the open loop stable systems only, right? Exception is in the simple pole at the origin. Only case is simple pole at the origin. Say, let us consider a closed loop transfer function T of S equal to G of S divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S. Understand? This is the closed loop, C of S by R of S. So this is T of S. So what is the frequency response for this system? For this system, say T of j omega, magnitude of T of j omega. So what is magnitude of T of j omega? G of j omega divided by 1 plus G of j omega, H of j omega. Clear? So for this frequency response, so G of j omega divided by 1 plus G of j omega, then H of j omega. So what is the frequency response for this system? So this will be very simple. So you can say, let us draw the magnitude response for this transfer function. We are varying from 0 to infinity. This is omega from 0 to infinity. This is magnitude of T of j omega. So first we substitute omega equal to 0. So we'll put omega equal to 0 here. So G of 0, H of 0, G of 0, right? So what we will get? We will be getting the unity value, right? Unity, G of j omega becomes magnitude. This is becomes infinity. So this for this transfer function, for the simple pole at the origin. So simple pole at the origin means what? So G of S equal to simple pole at origin 1 by S. So G of S equal to 1 by S. So here if you substitute 1 by S, similarly 1 plus 1 by S. So unity feedback system. Consider H of S is unity feedback. So 1 by j omega plus 1 plus 1 by j omega. So if you take LCM, so j omega plus 1, the j omega omega cancel, it becomes 1. So it starts when omega is 0, it starts with the magnitude of 1. Understand? Then as omega increases, it approaches like this. The response will be like this. Okay. So when omega is infinity. So this peak due to the variation. So this peak is called resonant peak. Resonant peak. Let us analyze with the second order system for the various frequency domain specifications. Okay. The other specifications are resonant peak. Okay. So this value is called resonant peak. So omega R resonant peak, sorry, MR. MR is the resonant peak. The corresponding frequency is resonant frequency. Then bandwidth, okay, bandwidth of the system. Bandwidth from, how to find the bandwidth? From the maximum value, we should take minus 3 dB level. 3 dB level. So we have to draw a line. It will cut on the curve. Okay. So this frequency gap is called bandwidth. So this is the lower cutoff frequency and higher cutoff frequency. So this gap is called bandwidth. Okay. This is called bandwidth. So what are the other frequency domain specification? Resonant peak, then resonant peak, the resonant frequency, bandwidth, and cutoff frequency and cutoff frequency, cutoff rate. It is these are all the remaining resonant frequency. Resonant frequency, omega R. Okay, it is the frequency at which the maximum magnitude of the closed loop system occur. Okay, it is the maximum frequency. It is the frequency at which the maximum magnitude, peak magnitude. Okay, then resonant peak, resonant peak, resonant peak. So what is resonant peak? MR, MR. Okay, in time domain, it is called peak overshoot. Here, it's called a resonant peak. Okay, so it is the maximum magnitude of the closed loop system. So this is the frequency at which maximum magnitude, okay, maximum magnitude of the closed loop system occurs. This is called maximum magnitude. This is frequency at which the maximum magnitude of closed loop system occurs. This is maximum magnitude of the closed loop control system, closed loop system. Okay. What is bandwidth? It is the range of frequency over which the system acts satisfactorily. Okay, so bandwidth. So bandwidth is nothing but the range of frequency, range of frequencies over which the system performs satisfactorily. Okay, which the system performs satisfactorily. Okay, satisfactory. Next, cutoff rate. What is cutoff rate? Cutoff rate, the rate at which the magnitude falls at high frequencies, right? The rate at which the magnitude falls at high frequencies. So this is called cutoff rate. Okay, let us find the frequency response of a first order system. Okay, frequency response of first order system. So frequency response of first order system, so that you can easily understand the procedure. Okay, so okay, so what is the first order standard transfer function? Y of s by x of s. Okay, y of s by x of s, or say let us say g of s. Okay, so g of s equal to k by 1 plus s tau. So what is this? Is the first order transfer function. So first substitute, replace s by j omega, so that we can get frequency transfer function. So that is g of j omega equal to k by 1 plus j omega tau. So this is called frequency transfer function. This is called frequency transfer function. Frequency transfer function. From this, we can find magnitude as well as phase angle. Magnitude as well as phase angle. So what is magnitude of g of j omega? Magnitude of g of j omega is k by square root of 1 plus omega square tau square. What is phase angle? Phase angle is for numerator 0 degree minus the denominator tan inverse of omega tau, imaginary by real, omega tan. Let us find the magnitude. This is magnitude of g of j omega. So substitute when we can estimate the magnitude values for known frequencies. Okay, when omega is 0, that is known frequency. What is magnitude? Substitute omega 0 here, the magnitude is k. So what is the phase angle? See, minus when omega is 0 degree. When omega is infinity, what is the magnitude? What is the magnitude? Substitute omega is infinity, magnitude is 0. What is the phase angle? Tan inverse of infinity, how much? 90 degree, right? So minus 90 degree. Similarly, you take when omega is 1 by tau, what is the magnitude? When omega is 1 by tau, what is the magnitude? You substitute here, you will be getting k by root 2. So what is the phase angle? Tan inverse of 1 tau, omega equal to 1 by tau. So we will be getting here tan inverse of 1. Okay. So what is tan inverse of 1? Minus 45 degree. So using these parameter, we can able to plot the response. So what is the frequency magnitude response of the first order system? First order system. Omega 0, omega infinity. This is the magnitude. So when omega is 0, magnitude is 1. When omega is infinity, magnitude is 0. So what is the between value? Omega is 1 by tau. This this is k. So k. Okay, good. So k, from k to it falls down to 0. Okay, 0, right? So when omega is 1 by tau, omega is 1 by tau. So it will meet at a particular point on the curve. So this value is k by root 2. K by root 2. What is k by root 2? The frequency, when the frequency is 1 by tau, the magnitude is k by root 2. So this is the magnitude plot of frequency response in magnitude versus frequency. So what is the, similarly, what is the phase angle? Okay, so let us see the phase curve. So this is omega, say omega. So this is phase angle. So when omega is 0, 0 degree. Okay, when omega is 0, 0 degree. When omega is infinity, minus 90 degree. So minus 90 degree. When omega is 1 by tau, when omega is 1 by tau, what is the value of phase? 45 degree. So if you join this curve, so we will be getting. So this is the phase plot. This is the phase plot. Phase plot of the first order system. This is the magnitude plot. Magnitude plot of the first order system. Understand? Similarly, let us find the frequency response of second order system. So what is second order system? So T of S. It's a closed loop system, second order closed loop system. So what is omega n square divided by S square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. Clear? So this is the transfer function model. So let us substitute S equal to j omega. S equal to j omega. So T of j omega equal to omega n square divided by j omega whole square plus 2 zeta omega ns. This is j omega plus omega n square. Okay. So what is T of j omega? T of j omega equal to omega n square divided by minus omega square plus j 2 omega n plus omega n square. Now divide both numerator and denominator by omega n square. Divide both numerator and denominator by omega n square. This is second order system. Second order system. So if we divide both numerator and denominator, what we get? We will be getting T of j omega equal to 1 by minus omega by omega n square plus j 2 omega by omega n plus 1 plus 1. Understand? So the T of j omega we will be getting 1 by, we can separate the real and the imaginary part. So 1 minus omega phi omega by omega n the whole square plus 2j omega by omega n. Now I am going to represent this omega by omega n as u, say like ultimate frequency. So let u equal to omega by omega n. So it becomes T of j omega becomes 1 by 1 minus u square plus 2j u. Okay, 2j u. So this is the frequency, simplified form of the second order frequency transfer function. Second order frequency transfer function. So frequency transfer function. From this transfer function, we can able to draw the frequency response. We can plot the frequency response as usual. Okay. So when u equal to 0, when u equal to 0, what is the magnitude? That is magnitude. Okay. So first, this is the transfer function, frequency transfer function. Sorry. So what is the magnitude? So 1 divided by square root of real part square, 1 minus u square whole square plus 4 u square. Okay, 4 u square. So real part square plus imaginary part square, 4 u square. 4 u square. Sorry, this is the one 2 zeta, right? So here, sorry, you add zeta here. I forgot this. Sorry. So 2 zeta u. So here also 2 zeta u. So 2 zeta u, 4 u square zeta square. 4 u square zeta square. So now, what is the phase angle for this? Phase angle equal to minus denominator tan inverse of imaginary part divided by real part. Okay, 2 zeta u divided by 1 minus u square. So this is magnitude, this is phase angle. Now let us substitute. When u equal to 0, what is the magnitude? Substitute u equal to 0, 1. 1 plus u equal to 0, just 1. So the magnitude is 1. Then phase angle, you substitute u equal to 0. So phase angle is also 0 degree. When u equal to 1, that means omega equal to omega n. Okay. Or okay, let us substitute when u equal to 1. So what is magnitude? Magnitude when u equal to 1, 1 minus 1, 0, plus 1, 0, plus 4 zeta square, 1 by 2 zeta, 1 by 2 zeta, right? U equal to 1. So 1 by 2 zeta. So what is phase angle when u equal to 1? Here 1, here 1 minus 1, 0, infinity, tan inverse of infinity, 2 times. Actually, when you go for second order system, this should be not just minus tan inverse of infinity means, we normally take 90 degree. But in second order case, there are 2 poles, right? So it becomes minus 180. Okay. So when minus 180, right? When u equal to infinity, sorry, this is u equal to 1, 2 zeta. When u equal to infinity, what is the magnitude? Magnitude substitute u equal to infinity, magnitude is 0. What is phase angle? When u equal to infinity, so tan inverse of 2 times, sorry, this is 90 degree. This is 90 degree. Here only it will get when the maximum condition at high frequency, it becomes double the value, minus 180 degree. Okay. So using this, we can draw the curve, the standard frequency response of second order system. We can able to draw the curve. So keeping zeta constant, we don't know actual value of zeta. So keeping zeta value constant, the magnitude versus frequency. This is u, not omega, right? U, this is 0. So when u is 0, what is the magnitude? Magnitude is, when u is 0, magnitude is 1. Magnitude is 1. When u is infinity, magnitude is 0. When u equal to, say, when u equal to 1, u equal to 1. So keeping in your mind, u equal to 1, magnitude is 1 by 2 zeta. If suppose if zeta is 1, critically damped system, if zeta is 1, okay? When zeta is 1, when zeta equal to 1, it's a critically damped system. So in that case, magnitude is 1 by 2. Magnitude is 1 by 2. So the half of the magnitude when u equal to 1 for zeta value is, what is the value of zeta? So the zeta value is, this is the case when zeta is 1. Suppose zeta value, say magnitude is 1 by 2 zeta. Suppose the zeta value is 0.1. So what happened? 1 by 0.2, 0.2, 2 into 0.1, 0.2. So 1 by 0.2, what is the value? 1 by 0.2 is, it will be higher than 1. It will be higher than 1. So in that case, we will be getting a some maximum. Suppose this value is very high, okay, more than 1. So in that case, the curve, the standard second order curve will fall like this. Will fall like this. So this is called, when u equal to 1, that is omega equal to omega n, it goes peak. So this peak is called resonant peak. So MR. So when u equal to 1, this is called UR. Okay. So omega R. So this is when omega is omega 1. Both system frequency happens equal to the natural frequency of oscillation, then it is called resonant frequency. So this is omega R, resonant frequency. Corresponding magnitude is resonant peak. So this is zeta value less than 1. So very less than 1, very low value. Okay. Say when zeta is say particularly zeta equal to 0.1 or 0.2, 0.3, etc. So as zeta value increases, then the curve also moves like this. Okay. This is various values of zeta. Say zeta equal to 0.2. Say this zeta equal to 0.3, 0.4. So this zeta equal to 0.5, etc. Right? When zeta equal to 0.5, this becomes 1. So this becomes 1 when zeta equal to 0.5. Say zeta equal to 0.5, 2 into 0.5, 1 by 1 is 1, magnitude becomes 1 in this case when zeta is 0.5. So this is the magnitude plot of standard second order system. Standard second order system, right? So when magnitude is 1 by 2, this is actually when zeta equal to 1, we have to, in this graph also, in this plot also, we can take the minus 3 dB level, okay, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2. So draw the line, it will cut. So these are all the values of bandwidth. So this width is called bandwidth. So let us estimate the bandwidth. We can also find out the bandwidth formula, the resonant peak and resonant frequency from the transfer function itself. From the transfer function itself. Say, as usual, we found the standard transfer function. So the magnitude expression for the second order system is 1 by square root of 1 minus u square plus 4 zeta square u square. This is the magnitude expression. So let us find first. Let us find the expression for omega r for omega r. What is omega r? Omega r is the resonant frequency. How to get the maximum value of omega r from the maximum or minimum? To find maximum or minimum value, differentiate. Okay, simply differentiate magnitude. Differentiate the magnitude with respect to omega. D omega equal to 0. Replace wherever omega is there by omega. Okay, wherever omega is there. Please do it yourself, my dear students. Please differentiate this expression. Okay, so differentiate this expression. We will be getting the final expression, right? So what is that? So U by V method only. So first U by V method. So 1 by root 2, right? That is minus, if you bring it to numerator, say let us do like this. 1 minus u square whole square plus 4 zeta square u square. Okay, 4 zeta square u square. 4 zeta square u square. Here actually, here you substitute omega is omega finally. First, let us do, here we are having the frequency in u in the form of ultimate frequency. dm by du, when u equal to ur. Replace instead of u equal to ur. So here 4 zeta square whole power minus of. The root is brought to the numerator. Okay, the square root is brought to the numerator. Now let us differentiate this dm by du equal to the minus 1 by 2 comes here into what is that 1 by again the root in the denominator. Okay, actually, so 1 by root x can be written as minus 1 by root of, okay, 1 by 3 root. Okay, understand or not? The same thing, root x, x 1 by x whole power 3 by 2. So similarly here the denominator, sorry, okay, 1 by 1 minus u square the whole square plus 2 zeta u the whole square whole power 3 by 2 into you differentiate inside. So what do we get? 2 into 1 minus u square into this minus 2u, okay, minus 2u plus 8 zeta square u. Okay, this equal to 0. So if you equate this to 0, you will be getting this 2 cancel, this common 2 cancel. In this case, in this 2 cancel. So only 2 is there. So what do you get? So this leads to 2 times. This minus also brought that side. So minus into minus plus. Okay. So 2 into 1 minus u square minus 2u plus 8 plus 8 zeta square u equal to 0. We will be getting this. Clear? So if you multiply this, minus 4u minus 4u 1 minus u square plus 8 zeta square u equal to 0. Understand? So here you equate this. So 4u into 1 minus u square equal to 8 zeta square u. Okay, both side u is there. So we can cancel u. Here remaining is 8 zeta square here. So what do we get here? So the 4 cancel 2 times. So 1 minus u square equal to 2 zeta square. Right? So u square equal to 1 minus 2 zeta square. Right? 1 minus 2 zeta square. 1 minus 2 zeta square. Am I right or wrong? Okay. So what is u? U equal to square root of 1 minus 2 zeta square. So this is actually we found u value for the maximum condition. So replace u by ur. So ur equal to square root of 1 minus 2 zeta square. Because wherever dm by du, should be replaced by ur. So wherever u is there, you replace ur. Finally, we can replace u by ur. So this we will get. So here, what is ur? Ur is nothing but omega r by omega n equal to square root of 1 minus 2 zeta square. So what is omega r? Omega r is resonant frequency is omega n into square root of, okay, into square root of 1 minus 2 zeta square. Understand? So this is the answer for our resonant frequency. Clear? Resonant frequency.